Let's go see what's blooming in July. Welcome to Joy in the Garden. This garden space is full sun all day long, and it really starts to become beautiful when the panicles begin blooming. Starting with this limelight hydrangea that's in a standard tree format in the corner. It's just looking fabulous. And in addition to the panicles blooming, a lot of the annuals have really started to reach a really good size. So underneath the limelight here, we have 3 Senorita Rosalita Cleomes. They get very large, very tall. They will still grow at least a half a foot yet. They are behind the seedless Concord barberries. And these are the pink cashmere verbena tucked in front. The Sweet Caroline sweet potato vine is not blooming, but it is providing a beautiful accent to show off the other blooms around it. There's an annual salvia, the back to the fuchsia salvia, which has continued to bloom lightly all season. And this is the lemon luscious lantana, or the luscious lemon lantana, one of those, with the tall blue planet ageratum, started from seed. Bubble bath allium, which actually starts blooming before the millennium allium. And the millennium allium is not at peak right now, but it is just starting to get ready. We have a couple Dalmatian peach foxgloves peeking their head up back here. And that is the opalescence phlox, kind of out of bloom, but getting ready to rebloom a little bit. And then we have had a lot of rain, 4 inches in the past 48 hours. This is the Mini Vista White Supertunia. Looking a little flat there. Again, we got another 2 inches last night. There's another bubble bath allium next to a Bobo hydrangea. Next to the Bobo hydrangea is some gomphrena and some more bubble bath allium. And that bubble bath, I just love it. It starts blooming in early July and it will bloom. To me, it has like a 6-week bloom cycle. And here's some more of that gomphrena that started from seed. The taller version is the atomic purple, and then there is a smaller one, and that is the buddy. Again, started from seed with coral sedum, which is an annual for me, in front, and 3 plum-veined Mini Vista Supertunias right here, with the Millennium Allium getting ready to bloom right behind it. And I probably should have mentioned this one little yellow ball, looks like an oddball in this gomphrena, but that is a crespia, and that is the only bloom I planted. I started crespia from seed, and this is the only one that bloomed. So I think I'll let it there. So now let's head down to the backyard gardens. So this space here to the left is what was created this spring with just a few shrubs in there, and I will definitely be working on that in the fall. So I'll take you along for that. And you can already see in this circle garden behind here, the Bobo panicle hydrangeas just starting to put on their show. So this space has slowly evolved to part shade. But I do grow quite a few like alliums, and they do great. So you can see there's a couple of the bubble bath alliums right there. As we go over to this side over here, you will start seeing begonias popped here and there. There are different varieties of pink begonias, the wing variety, the rose variety. They are pink. I think of them more as coral. And then on the left and the right there, you see the Limetta smooth hydrangea, which starts out white in June, and by this time is this really, really pretty lime. And I do have to go down here because I have a new ruby smooth hydrangea just started to put her little bloom on. Looking beautiful. This is all foliage here, except for that ruby and the begonia and the limetta. And now we'll go through this space here, which again continues to be what I'd consider part shade, part sun. A lot of foliage in this area here. In the container, a lot of foliage, but this is the hula pink begonia. I have really loved that. This is the first time I've ever grown that. And this is the Surefire Rose Begonia, which has been phenomenal this year. So this container right here is in part shade. And for the last couple of years, I've been trying to keep it matching with the container down here, which is full sun. So as the trees here have grown, one container has turned into part shade and one remains full sun. But I have to point out, so I've tried different begonias, but this Surefire Rose Begonia, this is in full sun. It doesn't look like it is missing a beat. So I've got to give some love to that. And there's that hula pink begonia on this side. Now I put it purposefully on this side because there's probably a little less sun than if I put it on this side of the container here. And that is the orange skyscraper salvia. Hummingbirds love. And the sun here, I should point out, is actually afternoon, harsh sun. So, excellent. And there is another one of the Surefire Rose begonias there. And here I have the 5 Bobo panicle hydrangeas just starting to bloom. And I will point out this little guy over here gets less sun. So you can see he is later to the blooming game. Now, even a few days ago, he didn't have really any white on him. So in about a week, he'll catch up and you won't know that he was behind. But as these trees grow, there's less and less sun that can get to them, which is fine. They're beautiful. I do have somebody come out every few years and really get up and trim those trees. And here we see more of the panicles. On the right side there is the Firelight. That is probably 3 years old, and that's as big as it's gotten so far. The standard tree there is a Pinky Winky. Love the Pinky Winkies. And then what we see right here on the left there is a smooth Incredible hydrangea. So there you can see the Incredible a little closer, still putting out new blooms there. And then you can see the Firelight, and then below here I have 7 of the Wee Whites. And they start out white in June and then slowly change to this beautiful, I'd say lime, but it's actually like a really soft green. But it does continue, that's like a new bloom for it. So it does continue to put out new blooms. You can cut those back and get all new blooms. I just don't, because I think I think they look really nice with the panicles, you know, when they're turning that bright white. This is some yarrow that's going to be cut back probably within the next 3 days. So this has been beautiful this year. This is the, let's see, Millie Rock Yellow Terracotta yarrow, but I need to cut it back and wait for a rebloom. So you can see the newer ones are really pretty there. So now we'll head on over to this newer garden space, and it's looking fabulous. So I think I mentioned that we've been getting a lot of rain and a lot of heat. It's been very, very hot. We had a couple nice days last Thursday and Friday, and then the heat came back again. But that heat and rain is really making this garden happy. So over here, there are, I don't know, I think 3 or 4 of those tall Blue Planet ageratums that I started from seed. And this is actually an annual, it's a grape lantana of some sort. It's okay. I thought maybe it would, you know, give more of a punch, but I knew lantana was drought tolerant, and I didn't expect so much rain this year, so I thought it would be good to just fill some space in this new garden while other things are still growing. So there is a snapdragon. I can't remember the variety, but I'll put it on the screen. I did start snapdragons from seed. I wouldn't say it was a great success, but I learned a lot and I did get some pretty blooms. So I have 6 Pinky Winkies in the back area here. There's one of them, and you can see one back there. The 3 that are way in the back are really small. I mean, I bought them for like $14 last year, really small. That said, they'll eventually get larger. And then I have a Pinky Winky behind this Blue Fortune, but you can't see it because that Blue Fortune is so tall, taller than what it says it should get. It's beautiful. And then there is another Pinky Winky. But let's just stop for a second. Look at that Blue Fortune. I mean, first of all, just the strength of it. It actually is holding this whole garden together. I am just stunned by it. There are definitely some perennials in the back that I'm got behind it that I'll have to move because I didn't expect this to get so large. And then there is a blue boa agastache right next to it. And as I pull in the front here, I have 5 Firelight Tidbit hydrangeas. They look so wonderful this year. Last year they looked so sad all year. This one right here in the middle looked the saddest. It does have the least amount of blooms, but it looks healthy. Again, that rain is helping. I know for some people that rain is not a good thing, but the gardens do love it. Rain combined with heat, I should say. And I will just mention this tall verbena that is in the back there. That is all self-seeded from plants I started last year. Now it did go everywhere. And the place that I kept it was in this back area here. And I didn't move anything back there. That's how much actually grew there. I like it back there. I am someone that sometimes a garden gets too messy for me and I can't take it. But I really like those tall dancing verbenas back there. And right here is some celosia I started from seed. This is the flamingo variety here. It's a Culver's root that will be showy in a little bit. I have 2 of those, brand new though. And then that's another celosia, rainbow sherbet. I'm really liking the rainbow sherbet. So this is my first time starting celosia from seed, and so far so good. And from this angle here, we have a beautiful Raised for Days Heliopsis in Walter's garden. That's really, really pretty. And here you can kind of see the Pinky Winkies in the back a little bit better. There's another blue boa that I need to move up front. And then you can really see that stance of tall verbena. See, even from the back, it's a little messy for me. Over there, the zinnias that I have left, the bunnies haven't eaten, is a giant, I think it's a lilac Veneri variety. So let's go over here to this space here where we have the royal purple smoke bush on the corner. So let's go to this little corner over here, which is actually mostly foliage. This is a part sun space. It gets sun in the morning and shade in the afternoon. So a lot of shade plants are happy here and some sun plants. So the only blooms here are 3 different hydrangeas. This one right here is the Bobo hydrangea, looking fabulous, fabulous. This one dealt with chlorosis for many years because there was a lot of clay here, and after adding compost for multiple years, it's looking great. This is a Pinky Winky in the back. I love the color that the Pinky Winky turns, especially with the Bobo in front. And then this is a ruby that has not bloomed yet. So it's a pretty, gosh, I think I planted it last fall. So we'll give it some time, see what it does. And the last place we'll take a look at just a few blooms is in this front full sun garden. On the left here, the golden spirit smoke bush is just looking gorgeous. Not a bloom, but looking gorgeous. This space does not have a tremendous amount of flowers at this point. There you'll see the Firefly Sunshine Yarrow, which is looking really pretty. It's brand new. I need to do some pruning. I'm going to cut the dead areas out just to help it continue to bloom. There's some more of that tall blue planet ageratum. And then right here we have some calamite. And this is the garden that soon will have a lot of Millennium Allium blooming. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a magnificent day.